Hello, welcome to episode 10 of Mindset Makeover. I am super excited to, come this week and talk to you a little bit about the word of the year. And I don't know if you heard the episode from last week, but last week was all about New Year's resolutions and why they die off so quickly and why the average amount of days for a New Year's resolution is about 31 days, which is astonishing. But go back if you haven't listened to that one so you can get some more information on New Year's resolutions. But to kind of go along that theme, since it's the start of the year, I want to talk about the word of the year. And before you kind of go into and think that it's a little fluffy or just mock it or something, I just want to share with you a little bit about what the word of the year has done for me in the past several years. And it's something that I've done. I'm going to say this is my third year doing it, so not a super long time, but it has been pretty impactful for me. So if we take it back to 2021, which is the first year that I said I picked a word and I stuck to it. Um, the word that I selected that year was self-discovery, or words, if you will. You don't have to have just one necessarily, but it was the year of self-discovery for me. And like many other people, we're in the middle of COVID. I mean, it was 1 year in, there was a lot going on. I felt lost. And I started to ask myself, what do I really want? And it was a process that was really hard. And I had to take that time and that year, if you will, to really find myself and truly discover what it is that I wanted. And that's like a changing process. It's not something that, oh, you discover today and then you're going to figure it out. As you evolve, as you change as an individual, um, things are going to change in your life. And so those desires, those goals, things change all the time. But 2021 was the year of self discovery. And it was sitting down and getting really quiet with myself and asking, what is it that I really want? And I invite you to do that because it's in the power of silence that you really start to connect with yourself and really start to identify what your true desires are. But not too many people allow yourself. We don't allow ourselves to do that often enough, at least. Um, so then I started to work with coaches back in 2021 at different capacities. And I kind of kept asking myself, what is it that there is in this life? I thought I was doing everything that I was supposed to. I was in the journey of, I went to college, I got the job. Um, it was all about, getting married and buying the house and starting the family. And thankfully, God had given me all of that already. And here I am in my early 40s, and I'm thinking, is this it? Because I feel like there's a lot more that I need. And through that journey is where I really started to um, identify what really spoke to me. You know, I had to really connect with myself. And all of 2021, and it took me a whole year to get into that self discovery zone of what I wanted. And that's where I got aligned with myself. And I could keep going with, all the different things that I did, but primarily was working with a coach at that time through group coaching and really putting into practice the things that allow me to realize what I wanted to do. So then we go into 2022. And so by the tail end of 21, I realized that, you know what, I want to go and pursue um, life coaching, life, career, mindset coaching. So I went and I set myself that goal. 2022 hit, and that was a year to reinvent myself. And I went all in. And had, it was in January that I started my certification to become a life and career coach. Simultaneously, I started working with a different coach that really focused on my mindset because that's what I needed to align the most, to change the habits that I had um, that had brought me to where I was at that point. Um, so I did. And it was the year to reinvent myself. And I went all in, like I said, um, got my mindset certification, life, career coach certification, did all those things. I launched a coaching business and I began to help other women transform their lives. And if you haven't done this before, to be able to be of service to others in a way that is so impactful for you is the greatest satisfaction and feeling that you will ever have. And just remember that service leads you to so many other things. Um, and once you're working in alignment with yourself, that is what sparks that fire in you inside. And so all of last year was all about reinventing myself. And I remember the coach that I started to work with right at the beginning. She said, if you do the work, if you truly do the work, you are going to need a telescope to look back at yourself a year from now. And I just took it for what it was. But if I take that telescope today, and I look back, I do, because the transformation that happened inside of me is unlike anything else that I've ever experienced. And so that then brought me to where we are at today, 2023. And my word for 2023 is to revolutionize. It's revolutionize, and it's the year to revolutionize myself. And when I heard that word, um, or when it just kind of stood out for me, it was a word that I just connected with because revolutionize is to radically or fundamentally change something. And that something is myself. And this is a year that I plan to just take myself to a whole other level. And obviously, as I go, I can share more. But I am one that kind of keeps things to myself a little bit because I need to really work on myself first to then put things out to others. But that is the word that I picked because it's what I intend to do this year. Now, I get super laser focused on my goals, and they are so big and so bold that they actually scare me a little bit. But I know that I am headed in the right direction. When they scare me, when it almost gives me anxiety, that's when I know that's the direction I am supposed to head in. And that's what my goals for this year do for me. And they're huge. And as a matter of fact, um, I had a conversation with my family this weekend, and I was sharing with, my husband and stuff, some of my goals and some of the things that I desire to do. And yeah, I'm telling them and, sharing it with them and soliciting their help, if you will, in some of these things, just trying to tap into, what they like as well. And I was telling them, everything that I desire. And my husband's like, well, you are going to need X, Y, and Z, or you need to research, ABC. And my answer to that was, I will. But if I wait until I have the perfect equipment, the perfect, setup, the perfect, do all the research, I am going to stay stuck in that space. And what I need is to just go out and do what I love to do most, imperfectly, right? Because that's how we identify and discover all the different steps that we have to take. And so here we are, January 4th, 2023, and I am looking ahead. And not only that, in that same process, I've already identified some goals that I have for 2024 and 2025, you guys. And now those goals, to be honest with you, thinking about them actually made me want to like vomit. They're so big. But guess what? They're not for today. They're not for this year. And so I am not giving it thought right now. Those are later. But the reason I'm sharing this is because I want you to see the journey and the power of a word. And if you really stick to it. And the reason I say that is when I started, it was that year of self discovery. What is it that I want for myself? And after that, once I discovered kind of the journey that I wanted to go through, and it took a whole year to do that, then I went into that space to reinvent myself. Like I knew what I wanted. Now I was going to reinvent myself because that's what it took. And now that I've done that, now I am going to revolutionize and drastically change habits and the way that I do things to be able to achieve those goals. Now, it doesn't mean that you pick a word and you have to be married to it for an entire year. So I want to just kind of give you some tips as to things that you should think about when you're selecting a word every year, because I do think it's important. It gives you something to come back to and reconnect as you're going through your journey throughout the year. So if you're sitting here today, I want you to reflect back on the previous year, on the last 12 months, and just kind of see what were things that you struggled with. What are some changes that you wanted? What did you do well? What do you want more of? What do you want less of? How do you feel right now? Just kind of start by reflecting on the last 12 months. And then once you've done that, look ahead. Look into the next 12 months and where do you see yourself by the end of 2023? What do you see yourself having accomplished? What is it that you want? What do you want to focus on? Do those things, kind of reflect on that. Just kind of write things down, just do a little brain dump. Choose a word that really speaks to you and that you can connect to. All right. And sometimes we get stuck in just picking it. Go to Google. Google word of the year. You are going to get a ton of words. And think about the previous 12 months. Think about the next 12 months. What it is that you really desire for yourself. And find the word that just stands out and really speaks to you. Okay. And then in order to make that word meaningful and not just die off and just let it be, really know why it is that you are picking that word. Again, it's going to go back to the things that you want to change, the goals that you want. Okay. So what is the why behind it? Why do you really want these changes? Why do you really want to do the things that you did well throughout the year? Okay. Another thing that you can do is make it visible. Do a lot of people like vision boards. Do a vision board with your word. Um, Print your word in a nice, font. Put it where you see it. A lot of people go as far as, you know, creating a little piece of jewelry on Etsy. Whether it's a bracelet, a ring, a necklace, whatever it is, something that is going to constantly remind you of that word. Okay. And the reason why. So when you see that word on a daily basis, whether it's on a piece of jewelry that you choose to wear or a word that you put on your desk, on your bathroom mirror, whether it's on a post-it note, whatever it is, make it visible so that it is a constant reminder of why you have selected that word to have so much power for that year. And not only that, you know, set some goals to go along with it. And if you need help with that, that's what I'm here for, right? As a coach, I am here to help you get unstuck, to help you um, grow from within, to reset, have that reset, to redesign yourself from that inside out so you can go out there and then reinvent yourself. And even when I go back and look at what I teach in my program, and I didn't do that, I didn't even realize this till recently. I went back and it almost was that same journey that I have gone through. It doesn't mean it needs to take you 2 years or more. But what I'm saying is it's a journey. And when you're working side by side with a coach to hold you accountable, to help you get unstuck, that transformation is so much quicker. And I tell you that because it was truly a transformation once I really started working with a coach last year. Not only that, mid-year in August, I hired a second coach. Okay. So, and it's a huge investment, but I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't do that. So set some actionable goals for yourself, um, in addition to habits that you want to change. And I teach people how to rewire your brain, how to change those habits, because it's not easy. Um, so do that, all right? Know your why, make it visible, set some goals and habits you want to change to kind of go with it. And then regularly check in with your word. Does this word still align to where you're at, you know, through that your journey for the year? If it doesn't, because maybe you have made some really incredible progress in that year, then it's time to change it up. And there's nothing wrong with adjusting. I wouldn't recommend changing words, every other month. No, because that doesn't create that consistency that you need. Um, Set that word at the beginning of the year. Do a check-in, as often as you need to. But if you're already a few months in and you feel like you've made great progress and it's time to level up, change it again. All right. And the reason I share this with you, and I've done this um, over the last 2 weeks, it's because it's the beginning of the year. It's when people get so excited about New Year's resolutions, about new goals. But I want you to be able to stick to that. If you want to have lasting change and lasting results, you need to change your habit. You need to change your paradigm, which is those habitual thinking and patterns that you are stuck in. And I'm here to help you with that. So if you are struggling and want some help, just reach out to me. Send me a message with the word mindset makeover, and we'll connect. We'll go through a call where we will be able to go through different areas of your life and really discover the changes that you want and where you really want to see yourself, you know, at the end of the year or in a few months. And if anything else, you're going to walk out of that call with so much clarity on what it is that you need to do, whether you're ready to move forward to work with someone, or if you need to do some additional reflection, you're going to walk out with so much clarity. So that's what I wanted to share with you today regarding the word of the year, the power that it has, and just a little bit about my journey and how those specific words that I have set over the years have really drastically changed my life. But not only that, what I want you to do is to really put this mindset makeover, this lesson into practice. All right. So share what you learn with others, because when you share with others, when you go out and talk to someone else about it, you're repeating. It's repetition that creates that consistency, and it's how you learn best. And that is a key to success. Okay. All right, friends, go out and make this an amazing day. And remember, you can change anything that you want if you set your mind to it. Level up your mind and you'll level up your life. Have an amazing day.